Okay, here is your assignment. So I want you to start with a box, okay? And I'd like for you to really try to coordinate the X's, Y's, and Z's. I'd like for you to try to do a kind of a good job. And the early drawing for me has a tendency to be sketchy. So we can see that you can see that these two here would never meet in space. They're not converging, right? And so if I have my little arrows on there, that means I've got an error. And so if I move inward, okay, and that fixes the party hat. Okay, so there's a box started. And now what I want to do is I want for you to mount 20 macaroni arms coming off of this box, okay? So to mount an ellipse, a circle on a square, what you do is you work from, say I want to mount a circle, an ellipse on this side of the box, you work with this line here, which is perpendicular to the face, becomes the direction of the minor axis for the ellipse. So you see how I grafted this Z line into that right there. Now watch how I use that to symmetrically shape the ellipse. Okay. Now if I wanted to mount over here on this surface, I use this line right here. So I'm going to use that would technically be that would be our X line, right? Here's our Z. That would be our X line. So if I come over here, here's my X line. There's an X for the minor axis, and here's an ellipse symmetrically built, so it looks like a kind of a pill around it, right? If I want to mount on top, I use the Y line. Okay, you guys kind of getting it? So here's my Y line, and up here, there, I'm going to use the Y, and I'm going to symmetrically construct. Oopsies, you see how that's off? So I have to symmetrically construct around that minor axis in order for it to, and that's how you get a circle in perspective to be sitting on any of these surfaces. Your assignment is to do 20 macaronis coming off of the surface of this, 20 macaroni arms coming off the surface of this. So what you might do is you might go and practice like making kind of Swiss cheese of this thing at first and using the minor axes that I'm helping you set up right here. Right, so if I've got 6 sides, so each side needs about 3. So we'll change the assignment. It's got to have 18 arms coming off of it, okay? So every side has to have 3 boxes that will come off of it. So here's the line. There's the minor axis, like right there. I'm using the X line and symmetrically constructing an ellipse around it, okay? Here's the line. Trying to symmetrically construct an ellipse around it. Here's the line for this surface, and I take it from here. Okay, I'm going to take it from there. There's the line. Symmetrically construct an ellipse around it. Okay. So now from each of these, what I want for you to do is I want for you to construct macaroni shapes. And here's how I'm going to start with this. I want to go like this. I want to go, here's a line that I want to construct a macaroni shape around. And here's a line that I'm going to construct a macaroni shape around. And here's a line. Okay, and here's a line. So this is going to be like an octopus, okay? These are like, these lines are the gestures that I'm going to be working with. And I'm going to bring that one forward and out. And now I need 3 from each of the other sides too. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and then over here will be 1, 2, 3, and then a lot of these will be hidden. 2, 3. Okay, so you can see I've got 18 arms. Now I want to build out these arms. Okay, so here's going to be a macaroni. I want to use an ellipse here. Okay, and now this shape, I'm going to do a bigger shape coming, or I could do a smaller shape coming off of that one. And I'm going to go macaroni shape, and I'm going to cut into a bigger shape here. So I'm alternating from big to small. Okay, so there's an arm stretching off, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to gently erase the invisibles. Okay. And they don't have to disappear entirely. The sketchy quality of this is not a problem. This is like early sketch drawing. Okay, so now coming out of this, this is a much bigger one. And yeah, it's going to end right there. I don't love that tangency that I've ended up with right here. Maybe I'll try to pass this directly underneath, make it more of an overlap and less of a tangent. Okay, and now coming out of this one, that big, and here's my ellipse. Helps me come out of it. And again. Again. And this time I'm going to go larger. Okay, there's another one, and I'm going to gently erase the invisibles. Okay, and now I'm going to work on this one. This one comes out smaller. Ends right there. Gently erase the invisibles. And in this case, I'm going to underlap here, is going underneath. And it'll come out over here. Okay. The computer is struggling to stay up with me. There. And now I'm going to do a little bit bigger one. And curling and curling. And this is the general idea. And what we're aiming for here is a spirited, nice sketch. And I want for you to start to get familiar with this like fun gestural shape, okay? It's a really convenient building block that's worth putting a little bit of time into mastering. Okay, so we've got these crazy arms coming off of this thing, and I'm looking for you guys to develop 20 arms that come off of this, and I'm going to draw one of the ones on the bottom. Here's one of the ones on the bottom. Ellipses, and I want to make the one on the bottom, it's going to be magnifying for some reason. Okay. And now into a smaller space. And this is like a real homage to Dr. Seuss, who I think is brilliant. And if not brilliant, certainly a lot of fun. Okay, and on and on and on, okay? So we're gonna do 20 of those, 20 arms, okay? All right, hope you have fun with this.